Presented here is how the Delaware PBS project conceptualizes the framework and MTSS for student success. Notice that the behavioral side of the triangle aligns closely with the academic side, which is one reason why PBS is successful for many schools. It builds on the existing academic supports by adopting that same framework for behavior. Behavior support interventions for each tier of support are shown on this slide. On the next few slides, we'll break down each tier of PBS in more detail. The universal or school-wide level of PBS and MTSS is referred to as Tier 1. School-wide practices impact all staff, such as teachers, specialists, paraprofessionals, custodians, bus drivers, etc., all students, and all families. Systems and practices proactively used at the Tier 1 level include those that are implemented throughout the whole school, every day with the whole school community. This slide presents key aspects of school-wide PBS at the Tier 1 level. These elements should serve as the foundation of your PBS program. In contrast to the school-wide systems and practices implemented at Tier 1, Tier 2 is aimed at students that need a little more support in order to follow the day-to-day expectations. Tier 2 supports should be implemented in addition to what is being done at Tier 1. These supports and interventions can be inside or outside of the classroom and should help to filter the students who need a little support from those who need to be specifically and intensively supported in order to be successful. The latter group would be better suited to receive Tier 3 supports, which will be described on the next slide. The key aspects of PBS at the Tier 2 level are presented on this slide. Remember, these supports do not stand alone and are implemented with what is already being done at Tier 1. The highest level of support in PBS and MTSS is Tier 3, which consists of individualized supports and interventions. Students who receive Tier 3 supports require more support than what is offered in Tiers 1 and 2 to be successful, and only about 5% of your school population should be included in this group. Tier 3 interventions are implemented in addition to what is being done at Tiers 1 and 2, so even though a student participates in individualized Tier 3 interventions, they still receive the universal Tier 1 and small group Tier 2 supports. Common examples of Tier 3 interventions include a Functional Behavior Assessment, or FBA, and a Behavioral Support Plan, or BSP. Keep in mind that establishing MTSS or a PBS framework provides a structure that increases likelihood that specific practices or interventions, such as restorative practices, Leader in Me, and Second Step, will be implemented with fidelity. A school doesn't become a Leader in Me school and not a PBS school. A school uses its PBS framework to be strategic in the choice of selecting the Leader in Me curriculum based on data, establish systems to provide training to staff and monitor progress, and implement curriculum and expected practices with fidelity. Again, together data, systems, and practices are at work to lead to desired outcomes. Additionally, integrating trauma-informed practices within an existing MTSS or PBS can provide schools with additional opportunities to further support students, staff, and families in meaningful ways. Trauma-informed practices bring these additional attributes to PBS schools, such as the incorporation of mindfulness in schools and the promotion of resilience among all community members. When thinking about interventions at all three tiers, it is important to consider how your school's interventions are consistent, inclusive, culturally relevant, and responsive, and focus on building positive relationships. It is important to keep in mind that just like MTSS for academics, practices within an MTSS for behavior like PBS are proactive, data-driven, and utilize a problem-solving process. Also, the three tiers are fluid and students can transition back and forth between the tiers. Each tier can also vary in the intensity of supports it provides. For more information about MTSS and PBS, refer to the resources presented on this slide. One notable resource is the PBIS website, which provides an abundance of webinars, resources, and tools about MTSS and the 3 tiers of support. The Delaware PBS website also provides numerous MTSS resources as well as the forms and tools for use at tiers 1, 2, and 3. Thank you for your participation in this module. We hope that you found this information helpful and easy to understand.